Well, there they are, a couple good-looking guys. Good morning, everybody. Mark Worman here from the hit reality TV series Graveyard Carz, along with my cousin and friend, Dougie.
Thank you.
Yeah, cousin Dougie there. Doesn't like to talk a lot. That's all right. Nope. That's okay. Thanks, everybody, for watching this. This is fun. This is new for us. We haven't done it before. And this is kind of an icebreaker for us. Maybe this will segue. Can I use that word? Mm-hmm. Yeah, segue into more versions of this. Maybe a little Graveyard Carz live down the road too. This particular one is brought to us by ShelterTech, a ShelterLogic brand. They're our friends. They're the ones that make the great big mausoleum that we store all the cars in. So we told them that we would be happy to help them. We're a big believer in their product, and that's why we're here today. So we're going to talk mostly Graveyard Carz stuff. Is that true?
Yeah.
See, it's all fun and games out there in TV land when you see this stuff. But if you have to work with it every day, it takes a toll after a while. Okay. My cousin, what happened? Some guy's saying 2 minutes. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about all things Graveyard Carz. So you're going to have an opportunity to write in later and talk about all the questions that you may have that maybe we never had an opportunity to answer on the show. You can ask Dougie. Please ask him as many questions as you like.
No.
I see my shirt's a little bit. Oh, I pulled it the wrong way. Oh, there. That's better. I don't know what's going on there. It doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about ShelterLogic. ShelterTech is ShelterLogic brand. Now listen, there's also a giveaway in this. So you're going to want to make sure that you register for the giveaway. And let's see, they're going to go to, well, we're introducing right now that there is a giveaway. So they're giving away a 12 by 20 by 8 foot ShelterTech, just like ours, but a miniature version of it. So it's got the galvanized piping. You can pick the different shapes. They make a dome roof, peak roof. They have a barn style. You can pick whatever you want. But, you know, we use those things here, but we're also ordering another one for another location that we bought because they're great. They're inexpensive. They're easy to put up, and they're definitely not a permanent structure like you would be committed to with a regular building. So if you don't like where it's at, pick up and move it.
I want one.
Dougie wants one. All right. Okay, so do we need to tell them where to go for the grand prize right now?
Yeah, just go to ShelterLogic.com.
Go to ShelterLogic.com and register to win that grand prize, which is a 12 by 20 by 8 foot ShelterTech tent.
ShelterLogic.com.
ShelterLogic.com. I apologize. See, I got somebody here feeding me all the lines. It's new to me. You want to know what radiator 70 CUDA has? It's $29.98, $956 if it's got a 440 in it. That's the kind of stuff I do. This I don't do as well. So, oh, look at that. See that picture back there? There.
Yeah, this is the link, though.
Oh, it's backwards.
It's /GYC.
What? Oh, sorry. ShelterLogic.com/GYC and register to win the 12 by 20 by 8 ShelterTech.
Now you're just talking.
What's this happening?
Now you're just talking.
Okay. So this is just the part of the show where we talk about ourselves, apparently, which is good because it's one of my favorite subjects. So,
not mine.
Why are you looking so scared?
Me?
I never saw anything like it. So Doug and I grew up together. Now that means to say that his father, Doug, Big Doug, that's why we call Doug Dougie, by the way, in case anybody's wondering, is his father's name is Doug as well. So it's kind of that George Foreman thing where you name all your kids. His kid's name's Doug and grandkids. So you have to have Doug, Dougie, Doug-esque. So he's Dougie. So he's Doug's son. And his father, Doug, was my mother's brother. My mother's passed away now, but they were brother and sister. And so we grew up literally from the time we were kids hanging out. And, of course, we started discovering engines and cool things. Anything with a wheel, probably at around 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Lawnmowers. Go-karts.
Yeah.
Mini bikes.
Roller skates.
Yeah, those two.
Doug broke his leg on a roller skate when he was about 8 years old. Is that right? 8 or 9?
Yeah.
He was roller skating around the living room at his house up on South 4th Street, and he wouldn't share with his brother Vince. This is a lesson to all you little kids out there in internet land. Share Don't be selfish. He was going around. He was teasing his brother. Oh, this is the best. I'm the greatest roller skater ever. And he's going around. Well, finally, old Vince couldn't take it anymore. So he picked up a chunk of wood out of the fireplace and hiked it across the floor, got caught up in Doug's feet. Doug flipped down on the ground and broke his tibia. Ankle. So there you go. Just remember to share.
Sure.
But it's cool because it's to be able to sit back now and I'm 58, he's 59, and be doing what we're doing, which is, of course, we're entertaining people with the show, but we're actually getting to restore the coolest cars on the planet that were ever built and the rarest cars on the planet that were ever made, and be able to share it with all of you people is neat. Very few cousins probably get to say something like that.
That's true.
Now we get on each other's nerves. He makes me crazy and I make him crazy. I don't know. You don't have to elaborate. But we do get along, and in our spare time, what little bit we have, well, Doug likes to spend a lot of his time with grandkids and relaxing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to spend my spare time working. So I'm just kind of a worker bee that way. But we still talk cars all the time. We'll send texts and pictures back and forth at night about something cool we saw, usually to do with cars, motorcycles, mini bikes, or something crazy somebody created. In fact, recently I bought a little tractor that somebody built about an hour from here up north. They took a riding lawnmower, and extended it about 24 inches and made a little dragster out of it. And anyway, they gave up on it. So we bought it, and we're going to have that featured in a series that we're working on called 14th Street Wheels, which I guess I would be remiss not to plug myself. 14th Street Wheels is a fun thing. Go over to Facebook and look up 14th Street Wheels with a Z. That's a fun little show that him and I are doing, where we teach people how to do basic mechanics and how the basic mechanics work through our eyes, and how we learn to do what we do today because of basic mechanical skills. So there you go. Now, normally speaking, right now, this is October 7th? October 8th. All right. So normally we would be doing round the clock suicide shifts, trying to get our latest Sema project done. So last year, you guys remember, we had Christine, the first and only to this date Elephant powered 1,000 horsepower all aluminum experimental engine 58 Fury. The year before that,
Dead wagon.
The little dead wagon. That's right. With our Ray Barton 928 horsepower, not naturally aspirated, pump gas. It actually has a H71 blower shop blower on that one. But all these cars that we've prepared and gotten ready for the SEMA show, no matter how long you have all year long, it always comes down to the last 30 days. All the things you forgot, all the things you procrastinated and said, well, I can do that later. End up piling up on you around September, October. So normally speaking, we wouldn't even have time for this. We would be out in the shop knee deep in cars and parts. This year, we were going to build a really unique vehicle. Now we are still building it. But as you may know or have heard by now, that SEMA show was canceled this year due to the COVID virus. And I think it's the right call. I've been to that show many years. And to say it's shoulder to shoulder, I mean, it's literally touching. To get through that thing, you are bumping and bouncing off of other people, and just to walk through. And they will congregate in huge piles. Like when Graveyard Carz is at like the PPG booth, you'll look out there and there will be 100 and some people, or at the Mopar booth, 100 and some people, and they're shoulder to shoulder. So it could be a huge spreader. I think it was the right call. I'm sad because SEMA is so much fun, and even though it's a nightmare to get ready for, it's always just such a blast. But anyway, you want to tell the people what we're building for our 2020 SEMA show, which will probably be unveiled this season on Graveyard Carz and then appear at SEMA 2021.
Your van?
That's right, Doug. That's right. A van.
I like vans.
What kind of van is it?
We do like vans.
We do like
when
vans.
They're yellow with strobe stripes.
And what is it? What's it based on? Has it got a thing? Sorry, I'll keep my hands off of it. I touched the table, and ain't nobody can touch the table because it ruin everything. I'm gonna have a drink of coffee. What kind of van is it?
A Yamaha with 2 motorcycles in the back, just like it was back in the day, the Hot Rod giveaway.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty
we're
good.
looking forward to seeing that one.
Yeah, 1972, Hot Rod magazine, Dodge, Craco, Refrigiking, Krager wheels, all along with Yamaha, got together and decided they were going to build, and this was real common back in those days for the magazines. They'd have magazine build-up cars, magazine giveaway cars. And they built a 72 Dodge van, painted it the Yamaha yellow with the black strobe stripes on it, and they decked out the entire interior as though this van was going to be the ultimate motocross van. If you owned this van, you were the coolest cat in the country, because you would have your motorcycles that could go in the back of it. You could go anywhere. It had an awning on it, had all the camping gear in it. And it was such a neat thing. Now, they only built one of them, and nobody even knows where that's at today. In fact, there's very, very little information on the Yamaha. Or if you Google it, you'll see that there's just not a lot of information on it. But we decided that we were going to duplicate that. So in the original ad for the original giveaway, Yamaha was giving, well, there's two different ads. There's an ad that says that first prize is the van, second prize is 2 Yamaha motorcycles. One ad says that you get a 1972 AT1 Enduro and a Yamaha MX, a 72 Yamaha MX 125. Another ad says you're getting a 250 Enduro and a 125 Enduro. So we could have picked either one that we wanted, but we decided, since we didn't have any of the MX dirt bikes, that's what we're in the process of trying to find and restore. We actually have the 125 Enduro done. The van has all of its paintwork done, and it is coming back here. We actually subletted that out to a company down in California. And so we're probably looking at January or February having that whole entire unit set up and ready to go. And it's just going to be really cool. You're going to have the van, you're going to have the motorcycle setting out underneath the big tent that rolls out, have a little Coleman stove. Dougie likes Coleman stoves.
Grew up with them.
Yeah. We had an attic up at his dad's house on South 4th Street. There was this, well, it was an attic, and they put flooring in there, and that was our little getaway. So we would play, his mother-in-law had a 8mm Bell and Howell projector, and he lived real close to the Springfield Public Library, where you could check out the old movies, any of them, you know, Laurel and Hardy, Frankenstein, Dracula, Our Gang. We would walk down to the library and check those movies out, and walk all the way back up to his house, which was on a hill, go up in the attic, and we would watch movies all night. Now, we have another 8mm projector that we just set up down here for 14th Street wheels. And it's kind of amazing to see the evolution of video, because there, it take you 10 minutes to set it up. It's a 5-minute film that takes an hour to get through by the time it keeps getting stuck in the feeder and burning the lens and trimming it. But I mean, it's ridiculous, but we did it. We loved it. Now, of course, you just hit play on your TV and it's all there. But those great memories, you know, that's just part of the things that forged our memories together as kids. But yeah, up in the attic, Doug got into making candles at one time. And so he had a little Coleman stove that he would put a pan on it, and he would go around, and anytime he could see somebody's poor candle, he'd grab it, steal it. Wow. He'd take things that didn't belong to him. I don't know what the definition of that is, but he would take candles and he'd melt them down, and then he'd make new candles.
Recycling.
Recycling is what we call that. Yeah, the prison's full of recyclers. So enjoy that. So, Dougie, do you have anything? What's your fondest memory of us growing up? What's one? We have so many. Give me a fond memory.
Oh my gosh, you've covered most of it. You know, the dirt bikes, right? Yeah, the movies.
Let's say something.
Drive-in theaters.
Oh, we did go to a lot of drive-in.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah. We grew up in the 70s. That was when times were pretty good. We had drive-in theaters. But give me an example of something maybe I would do that would be annoying to you.
Buy the same brand car.
It could be about a car
all the time, right? That was annoying. Well, for you or me, I don't know. Anyway, annoying, huh?
There's the Honda CL100 down South 4th Street.
What about all your boxing tricks and all that? That was annoying.
Well, so what happened was Rocky came out in what, 78, I guess it was. Mm-hmm. And that kind of, you know, opened up my idea to what a person
torture people.
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, but well, you know, it's Rocky Balboa, right? So you're always running around throwing some combos at people. You weren't really hitting them. You were just having fun, but it upset him.
It upset him.
My dad God rest his soul, before he died, was into Portland wrestling. So up in Portland, there was this whole little community of professional wrestlers. So like Jimmy Snuka was up there, Andre the Giant. And so I watched it with him. It was fun. Back then you bought into it hook, line, and sinker. You thought it was all real stuff. So I would use some of those. I didn't really use them, but I would come out and I would threaten to use like an airplane spin. So one day I came out of the house on 14th Street and I was doing something like that, like pretending I was going to pick Dougie up. We were out playing in the front yard and he went berserk. Serial killer berserk, where they don't register anymore. Their eyes flash like Fred Flintstone. When he used to bet, his eyes would roll up in his head and start spinning around and go bet, 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 bet. Doug went berserk and just beat me within an inch of my life. Had to call an ambulance. Went to the hospital. I went into full code. Is that what they call it when they have to give you CPR and stuff?
Okay. Boy.
So I would pay him back with little things like giving him a ride on my motorcycle.
Yeah. Mark was real fun. Yeah, get on the back of a motorcycle with Mark. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, he likes to dump you off the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that to his sister a lot too, didn't he?
Yeah, you rev it up and you dump the clutch, and your
Dump 'em
sister
off on the
fly out.
ground.
Yeah, my little sister Tara.
Yeah.
Hey Tara.
Hi, Tara.
Tara's 60 years old now. Lives right down the road from me. So we're all still living in the same town. Okay, so what does all this mean? All right, so now enough silliness with all of us. Got to do a little bit of business. We've got a commercial break coming up that's going to explain why Graveyard Carz loves ShelterLogic. We made this little video with them. What we do is a very rare thing, and it also requires a lot of square footage here at Graveyard Carz. So we have a 20,000 square foot building, and it still isn't enough to protect our classic cars while they're being restored. So we had a ShelterLogic tent mausoleum, we call it, put up last season or a season or two ago. You're going to want to go to the link that we mentioned earlier. This is very important after the break, or even during the break, I guess it is. Go ShelterLogic.com/GYC and register to enter your own version of the 12 by 20 by 8 foot mausoleum.
After that,
And when we come back from our little commercial break, you're going to have the opportunity to ask questions of me and Dougie. So just be sure to be waiting for that. As soon as we come back, you'll be able to go in there and type in all of your questions. And Doug and I will do our best to field those as quickly as possible. Try to send as many as you can to Dougie. And we're ready to
get
go.
answers.
And now we're ready to go to a 2-minute commercial break. You like 2 minutes, don't you, Dougie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Dougie. Is this thing still on?
5's better.
So recently we ran out of room at Graveyard Carz. We're always growing, always expanding. It dawned on me that the cars we're sending out, like this Hemi Charger and that 446 Thrill GTX, they come back and they sit in the rain after they've already been dipped and cleaned. That doesn't work for us. That means we got to go back over and have it dipped again after it gets rusty. I reached out to ShelterLogic. I told them that we needed a unit that wasn't too expensive. It's a big one, 120 feet long, 30 feet wide, but I wanted to be able to keep these cars out of the weather. They suggested the ShelterTech line. They built us this custom 120 foot by 30 shelter with galvanized pipe, extra heavy duty vinyl, a fraction of what it would have cost if I would have built a building, but it's up in a few days. In fact, me and 5 other guys put this thing together. The cars that are inside here are irreplaceable. So at the end of the day, when I had to make a decision, where do I want to keep a $250,000 Daytona Charger after it comes back from the metal dipping, I chose ShelterTech. You should too.
read that out loud and then answer.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that, and welcome back, Cousin Dougie, right here, along with Mark Worman from Graveyard Carz for ShelterTech, a ShelterLogic brand. All right. Now we're opening up the, I guess, the text lines here for questions, and we have one coming in right away from Thunderstruck54. Good name, Thunderstruck. That might be my new name instead of Iceman. Iceman or Thunderstruck. I kind of like it. Thunderstruck54. Will I foot race Royal again in the pumpkin patch? That was a great episode. So yeah, it was season 2. Royal and I went out along with the rest of the ghouls to the pumpkin patch out in Junction City, Lone Pine Farms. And I was complaining about how Royal used to fight dirty when we were kids and how he could always outrun me. But then I told him I'd lost a bunch of weight now that I was older and he was broke down, so I could outrun him now. And so we got on a foot race and he beat me again. Son of a gun. He was a fast runner. He was a coward. So what he'd do is he'd wind me up. He'd spit on my pool table. He'd do things to make me mad because he knew ultimately if he took off running, I couldn't catch him. So we might do another foot race again. I think I could take him now because I've even lost more weight. I'm down more to my fighting weight. I'm about 204, 205, doing about a couple thousand push-ups an hour. Well, that's a lie. How many Pinocchios do I get for that? Whoop. You know what I'm saying? Okay, next question. Let's get these through. How to reach Graveyard Carz to restore our cars. Yes, please, Devin. Go to email me at Mopar Revival, MOPARREVIVAL, Mopar Revival at yahoo.com, and I will get back to you with whatever information I'm going to need to be able to generate an estimate for you for restoration. Okay, we got some more questions. What do we got going on? Talk to me. Tell me something. Show me something.
Video call coming in.
Video call. Show me something, video call. Where's video call? Hey, nice hat.
Hey,
I like your hat, man.
thank you, sir.
You
How's it
kind of that
going?
Rocky Balboa thing. You got a
Rocky
little baseball,
Balboa, you got it.
bounce on the ground and go down to the docks and beat people up.
Adrian. Yeah. Yo, Adrian. All right, are you ready?
Ready.
So I'm working on a 1970 Dodge D100 two-wheel drive pickup, straight axle front end, and I want to go with a modern front suspension, but I have zero welding skills. So any recommendations for what you would do or suggest there besides a professional suspension shop?
Okay, so Ron Jenkins from Magnum Force is just a genuinely good-hearted guy. He's a Mopar guy. I don't know that he's making anything for you, but I can assure you, if you call him and tell him you're a fan of the show, and I recommended that you call him, he's at Magnum Force Performance. Okay. He'll at least walk you through. That's his genre, that modifying stuff. And being able to update a car for today's suspension versus yesterday's old straight axle, he'll at least, even if he doesn't make it, I promise you he will have some answers for you that are relatively easy. You're looking for bolt-on stuff, right?
Preferably, yes. Yes,
he
sir.
specializes in bolt-on stuff for these cars as well as C-bodies. Maybe he has something for a truck. It's worth the phone call. But I'm not much more help than that because it's really way out of my expertise.
Right.
Yeah.
The Dodge just isn't popular in the bolt-in stuff. You know, everything's weld, cut, fabricate. I don't have those skills.
If it's a crap box Chevy or some old rolled over Ford, then yeah, they make everything for it. But cool, it's like Mopar. That's why we got into Mopar is we like being the oddball out. And now today, I guess we're not the oddball out.
Cool.
Well, good talking to you, brother. Keep up
Mark, thanks, guys. You guys rule.
Hey, Rocky Balboa.
I think he caught
I like that hat. I think he did too. Mark Verstapenis. Correct that 69 Charger only has reflectors. Yes, that's true. 69 did not use a side marker. They were reflectors. 68 actually lit up and 70 lit up. But on the side markers of the B-body, Dodge B-bodies, they were just reflectors. I think Plymouth as well. That's true. That's it. How do you pronounce your last name there? Verstapenis? Oh, I bet it's Verstappenis. Yeah, I thought maybe it was somebody calling in, having some fun with the tray. Anyway, thanks for the question. Jared Dunn, any advice with taking the hinge springs off an A body without removing the fender. Oh boy, I don't think you can do it. I think you got to have the fender. I mean, if you're not going to use them ever again, I guess you could cut them off in place. But yeah, to get to that peg and to slide them off, I think you at least got to take the fender loose at the back and pull it away so you can the trajectory will allow you to come off the back. So the answer is no, I don't think that there is. Let's see, several questions asking about the pink car. So Emma's car is actually, I'm storing it up in Salem. We still have it. I still have a little bit of time. I like to put things off. As you know, in episode 1, Graveyard Car season 1, that's when we bought the car. And we haven't done anything with it, but we do still have it. And Emma is 10 years old now. So I said in the video, in the show, sorry, it's a TV show still, Mark. Yeah. This is what happens when these kind of minds start to arc out and go haywire. Is they start babbling. Where you see A Beautiful Mind, the movie? Of course not. Way over. Anyway, point being, we still have the car. We're going to restore it. Stay tuned. Probably next season, we're going to bring it out of storage and start working on it. It's an FM 370 Super B 383 automatic reverse car. So, okay, what else we got here? Don Ludwig. So a space would have been good there, whoever typed that. Don Ludwig, why isn't a 73 Plymouth Roadrunner Big Block 400 considered collectible when there were 1,991 of them made? Well, so typically what happened, it is collectible. It's just not a super collector like a 71 version would be. So when you start getting into the 400, they just lose. They don't have the horsepower. They don't have the punch. The car started looking less muscly and more decorative. So you get wilder graphics package. The bumper guards come out on them. I know that there's some low numbers in those later model B bodies, but they're just typically not as sexy as the 71 B body would be. 72, they still made a few 6-barrel. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I think the number was 3 or 4 446 barrel 72 Roadrunners that slipped through when in fact there weren't supposed to be any. But by 73, they really just weren't much of a muscle car. They were big, heavy, clumsy. You could even get a Roadrunner with a 318 in 73. So how's that a Roadrunner, right? So anyway, that's your answer. Frank Long, another space would have been good. Frank Long, what was the only 2 15x8 steel wheels offered from the factory and what did they come on? Okay, so the 15.8 in 1970 and 71, they had what they called the Steely wheel, which was a painted wheel, either black or body color. That was a true well, that wasn't a 15x8. I'm sorry, that was a 15x7. Tricky question. You almost got me there. 15x8, I believe the only ones were later, and they were the police car wheels. I think those were the 15x8s. What styles did they come in? I think they were, as far as I know, a 15x8. Again, it didn't happen prior to 71, but I think that a 15x8 would have been your police car wheel or like your Dodge Power Wagon and Dodge truck wheels later on. Again, not necessarily right up my alley for stuff. Larry Anthony, which is more collectible, a 69 Charger 500, 426 Hemi, or a 70 Challenger SE, which would have to be an RT because you couldn't get an SE without an RT package with 426 Hemi. Collectible wise, that might be a toss up. There's collectors for both of those cars. Those are super rare. I would almost put those as collectability wise and value wise, probably pretty close to the same. Pretty close. You got your B body guys that are going to love the Charger. You got your E body guys that are going to love the Challenger. By the way, we have one of each of those here at Graveyard Cars. So, no. What's the next question? Sammy Kinman, little Sammy Kinman. Hi, Mark. I have a question about the comp cam. What cam do you use for the 446 pack stock engines? So we use comp cams 270-H is the part number of the camshaft. So it's a mild upgrade over the original 446 pack camshaft. Performs really well. Has a nice, very moderate rumble to it, more so than the factory 6-pack cam, and even more so than just the regular Magnum cam would be in that engine too. But we've had really good luck with those. They sound good. They run good. We don't have any vacuum problems for the power brakes. So overall, that would be at the 270H. But call Comp Cams because they got some really sharp guys there that can walk you through exactly what you're building, and you can get the most bang for your buck. Stacy Connie, Doug Rocks, go Team Doug. Doug, you got a little fan going on.
Yeah.
Stacy, you a boy or girl? Let's see. Give me some more questions. I got a lot of answers going around here. Mopar Tom's Garage. Any thoughts on Brazilian Charger RT? Well, we don't have any of those up here. I know that the biggest engine you could get in a Charger and the Australian in the exports was the 300 cubic inch slant 6 leaning tower power. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't get a V8 down there?
Where?
Team Dougie rocks. Team Dougie rocks.
Brazil?
Yeah.
Brazil?
Wherever you want to go. Yeah.
I want to go.
Brazil's good.
Uh-huh.
Australia's good. I think that
yeah.
the Brazilian one's just like the Australian one's what I'm saying. I believe that they're a 300 cubic inch slant 6. But again, I'm sorry. I'm soft when it gets outside of the 68 to 71 Mopar muscle stuff. I just don't have it like I normally do. Kevin Kilogram writes in, I'm trying to decode a fender tag and build sheet for a couple of 69 satellites, misspelled. I own wondering if you could point me in the right direction. Yep. Go to mymopar.com and go to, there's a tab on the left that I think says like literature, maybe. No, it says decode. Go to mymopar.com and look on the left-hand side toolbar, and you'll see it'll walk you through how you can decode your fender tag on a 1969 Mopar. So there you go. Who's your daddy lawn care? Get it? Who's your the racing slick?
Yeah.
But who's your daddy?
I get it.
Very good. Very good. Who's your daddy lawn care and landscaping LLC? Hi, Mark. I'm looking for a 69 Charger in the Midwest. Can't find any. I just bought one. I bought a 69 Dodge Charger. We're going down next Monday to pick it up on Graveyard Cars. It's a 444 speed car. It is B5 blue, black interior. Does not have the original engine, does have the original transmission, but I've got a date-coded E440 HP. So if you want to email me at moparrevival@yahoo.com, I will send you all the information and how much I want for it. So, good question. Ricky Narr.
Ricky who?
The Office, BBC. Rick S. In the Netherlands, we have Mopars too. They were shipped in parts and built here. Did you know? I didn't know that. I have a 69 Barracuda Fastback, one of Doug's favorite little cars. Factory 4-speed slant 6. This wasn't an option. So you couldn't, I didn't know that. You couldn't get a 69 Barracuda Fastback with a 4-speed and a slant 6. I know you could earlier, but maybe you couldn't by 69. Oh, that's interesting. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate that. That's cool. Okay, we're running out of time right now. I just got time for one more question. It looks like a video call from Chrome Dome. What's up, my man?
Hey, how are
buddy?
you?
Good.
Hey, I have a 68 Plymouth Satellite.
Yep.
And it's got a 318 automatic 904 in it. What I want to do is I want to put a 400 big block in it with a 727. My question is, will the small block K-frame fit? Or do I need to change the K-frame as well? Like, is there a big block K-frame I have to put in that? Or will the small block one work with new mounts?
Absolutely. Yep. I learned that when I was 16 years old with my Dodge Charger. It had a 318. I wanted to put a 440 in it, and it just bolts right in. You got to have the correct mounts on the 440 engine.
Yep.
And the correct transmission crossmember mount for that, and it just bolts right in. Absolutely. Piece of cake.
Okay. Second question I have, if I can, is the motor is coming from a C body. Mm-hmm. Will that 727 work in my B body, or is the tail shaft too long?
No, same transmission.
Okay.
Same transmission as a regular a B car. The overall lengths of them are the same. So the C body transmission and engine will bolt in there, and you'll just want to get a drive shaft for one that maybe had like a 383, and it would probably give you the right length.
Okay, great.
Yeah, always good to measure. Well, good talk. Where are you calling in from?
We're from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, nice. Hey, take off, eh?
Yeah.
Bob and Doug McKenzie, 1983. Yeah, good stuff. Good talking to you. Thanks for calling in, man.
Thank you.
See you around, guys.
There's one more coming.
Okay, we have one more video call coming in right now from Brian H. What's up, B?
His question is in the comments.
Let's see, Brian, off screen. Let's see. What do you know about Super B number 1 and number 2, if you will? The ones that Dodge drove to the dealership. Oh boy. Yeah, you're talking about the show promo cars. Never really looked into them much. There are guys that specialize in that super rare one-off show car, factory promo car stuff, and it's not me. I don't know. My guess would be there are probably some options that you would think should be on the car but aren't, and that's probably because they hadn't been developed yet. Just kind of spitballing here. But I do know that they're extremely collectible, extremely rare, and I'd love to have one with a 0001 or a pilot designation. It'd be a really cool car. Let's see. Moving to the closer. All right. I'm choosing a winner right now. Is that true?
They're going to send it into you.
Okay. I'm waiting right now to find out who won the incredible ShelterTech by ShelterLogic brand 12 by 20 by 8 foot. Little mini me, you know. Okay, we got the great big one out there, and this is the mini me one.
Okay.
All right.
It's a good name.
Kevin Grams. Nice work, Kevomatic. New from K-Tail. It slices, it dices, it juliennes the fries. Hey, Kevin. Commercial from the 70s. Kevin, congratulations. That is really cool. Very, very nice. I'm happy for you, man. Make sure you send us a picture so we can post it on our Facebook page once you get it home and get it set up, and tell us just how awesome that is. So I think that's fantastic. Good job, man. Good job.
Now you're just thinking.
What'd you say?
Now you're just thinking.
Oh, so really just thank you, everybody. I've never done this for him. Not too bright. Hey, Dougie.
Hi, Mark.
Do you want to say thank you to everybody out there in internet land right there?
Out there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun. Hopefully we get to do this again. It was really great engagement. Lots of people tuned in. It means a lot to us. So just want to thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for watching our show, too, Graveyard Carz. We are back with a 14th season, if you can imagine that. When they said you wouldn't get one, we're on number 14. I still own it. I still produce it. And I'm the only show on the network that does that. Probably the only show on television, period, that does that. So, got my shirt. Amityville Ho. Oh, there it is. Amityville.
They're asking for a release date.
We don't know exactly. Does that look like I'm walking upstairs or downstairs? Sorry. We don't have a release date, but we believe it could be December or January for the new seasons. We'll make a huge announcement in our Facebook page when we actually have the drop dates for them. But we're making the episodes right now as we speak. So just stay tuned. Good stuff. 26 episodes of the #1 show in the history of television. Last year, we surpassed the I Love Lucy show where she had the baby. We beat that in the Nielsen's, and the season finale of Cheers and Seinfeld. So, are we done?
Yeah, just say goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.